Welcome back. This is Serial Snacks. Today I'm looking at structured PvP in Guild Wars 2. Now, we went over the world versus world versus world in one of my other videos, and structured PvP is different in a number of ways. One of the main ways that it's different is that you retain your race and your profession when you join this game. So you obviously get to stay the same, everything's the same. Now the one thing that happens is that all players are on even footing. So you're all maxed out to level 80, you have access to all your skills, all your traits. The weapons that you have and the armor that you have are the same as every other class like you that's on the playing field. So in that sense, it's even. The other thing it doesn't do is that you can't level up in structured PvP. It's more like a competitive play between two teams. You can earn glory, which allows you to buy better looking equipment from the glory vendors that are in the game. You can also get rank, which will give random PvP awards. So there's multiple different maps that you can do, and mostly what they're geared towards is taking points of interest and capturing them. And you can see here I'm actually coming upon some red players, and our team is trying to fight to take over one of the points in the game. Now, once you have that, of course, you win the game after a given time. You can see the points up on the top. The blue team is the team I'm on. We have more points because we're holding more areas on the map for longer. So that allows you to get those points up quickly. You can see we have 2 of the 3 points. You can see in the middle of the circles, you have like they have the middle item, which is like a clock tower, I think, in this one. And there's a windmill and a church or something like that. So, you know, I'm fighting these guys, and that's what's neat about the even playing field is that you don't have to worry about having a gear discrepancy causing you to lose. You, of course, you know, if you fight another thief, for example, I'm playing a thief. If you're fighting another thief, the thief is going to be exactly on an even playing field, which is very nice. You can also, of course, switch your weapons mid-combat, which is one of the neat Guild Wars 2 functions. So right now I'm using daggers, but I could easily click this little arrow that will allow me to switch to guns, which will give me a ranged advantage. Of course, if you have the melee weapons, you actually do a lot more damage up close. So that's kind of what I'm doing here with these guys, these red guys here. Now, there's some other neat stuff that ArenaNet is planning on doing with Guild Wars 2. Some of that is tournaments, so they have a bunch of tournaments that they're thinking of doing. You can actually organize them, and this tournament play is always going to be like 5 players versus 5 players, and of course they'll take place on the same exact maps that we do in this particular instance, where I'm just hot joining the game, I guess you could call it. So you can also do, there's going to be different types of tournaments and different formats. There's going to be yearly tournaments, monthly tournaments, pickup tournaments, and then of course players can also organize their own tournaments. So that's kind of neat, and it'll be interesting to see from an esports perspective if that's going to become real competitive and there's going to be tournaments that people are going to watch. I'm not sure how that'll work, but that'd be neat if it did. As you can see, I got defeated here. Now, of course, I'm back in the battle again, and I'm actually in this like clock tower thing trying to take it over because that's the one point we don't have. So it's kind of neat because once you get those points, the main goal is just to hold the point. And you can see on the top right, the capture the point bar is filling up quickly because I'm standing there and there's nobody coming to challenge my capturing of that clock tower. So I looked on the map right there. I was right in the middle of the map in the clock tower. So I captured it. That also gives me more points as an individual player, which of course then affects your glory points, which they're saying the glory points will actually, the more glory points you have, obviously you'll be matched up against other players that have the total amount of glory points. So basically, what they're trying to do is match up players of equal skill levels. So that's a neat function too, because then you won't get continually defeated and routed by players that have been playing PvP for a long period of time. So let's talk about maps and the kind of maps that you have in structured PvP. This is the first of 2 maps that they're going to have available. There may be more at launch, but we don't know yet. But one of them is called Battle of Naifel, I believe, and that's this one where you have the clock tower and the windmill and that sort of thing that you have to capture. The other one is a forest type map, but both maps you have to get to 500 points, and that wins the game. So you can see we're almost at 500 points. I captured that center clock tower, and that's making our points skyrocket, just because when you have 3 points, it really makes things go a lot quicker in terms of points. So I died again while I'm fighting to survive, and this is the mechanic I talked a little bit about in World versus World, where even though you run out of hit points, you have that option to rally and survive. It's very difficult to do if you have multiple players on you, like I did right there. But if the person that's trying to kill you is engaged in combat with somebody else, it gives you an opportunity to jump back up and be a part of the battle. So I've respawned again here, and the game is almost over, so I'm probably going to wrap this up here pretty quick. I think you've gotten a pretty good idea of what structured PvP is about. There's some rumors that they're actually going to have an underwater map when the game comes out, which should be very cool. That would be an interesting thing, especially since the Guild Wars 2 underwater combat is so well done, in my opinion. It'll make it a lot of fun if everybody's playing underwater, so that's pretty neat. You can also see here, I mean, maybe there's one last thing, is that all of us are wearing kind of the same outfits. Now, of course, the stats are different based on the class, but it's neat to see that you're, as a team, you're all in blue, you're all wearing similar uniforms, I guess, and that kind of makes you stand out. And of course, I got first on the team. That doesn't mean a whole lot because everybody was just kind of, nobody really knows what they're doing, even including me, so I think it was just kind of luck on that. But you can see why, you know, I captured 2 points and that sort of thing. So it's neat to see the little scoreboard, you know, kind of typical of like an FPS style game. Now the one thing that happened here is it looks like we were kind of bugged because the game didn't actually end. We just continued to fight. So I'm going to end it here because the game's over. But it is interesting that they was kind of bugged. The other bug that you may have noticed throughout my cast is that there's no weapon sounds. And that was a bug that happened when I went in the structured PvP. I lost all my weapon sounds. So you may hear in the background music playing, and that music is royalty-free music I got from Incompetech.com. You probably recognize it. It was used in the movie Tombstone in one of the scenes. So hopefully that reminded you of that because that's a great movie. So check back again soon, and hope you enjoyed.